It was a Thursday in January, and I was getting ready for our son Grant's good friend Patrick and his girlfriend Madison to arrive. It was their first visit since we'd moved to Marin from Southern California. After exploring San Francisco, they were going to join us at our cabin in Tahoe for the weekend. We'd only gotten back a few days earlier from 2 weeks in the snow. Rushing to turn around and go back again so quickly was a grind, but it was the only weekend Patrick and Madison could come. Somewhere in between packing and repacking, organizing my daughter Charlie's brownie meeting, sorting through a stack of mail 2 feet high, and washing the sheets in the guest room, I got frustrated, and then I got angry. Where was Grant? Why wasn't he doing more to help? Patrick and Madison are his friends. The moment passed. As usual, I was forced to cut my son some slack. It's not that Grant didn't want to help. He couldn't. 3.5 years ago, while backpacking on the John Muir Trail, at the age of 14, Grant died. My first impulse after getting the call was to swallow the entire bottle of sleeping pills sitting on my nightstand. Not because of the pain. I was still in shock at that point. I wanted to swallow the sleeping pills because I was worried about him. Was he scared? Was he able to find the light? Did he need me? Later, when the shock wore off, the physical pain was unbearable. I'd find myself standing in the kitchen as if I'd been sleepwalking, a knife clutched in my hand, my subconscious urging me to cut myself in the hope of leaching some of the pain out of my body. I didn't take the sleeping pills or cut myself, but it wasn't out of fear. Back then, I was more afraid of living than I was of dying. It wasn't because I had 2 other beautiful children who needed me, or a husband who loved me. It was because Grant never would have forgiven me. I love all 3 of my children equally, but in some ways, Grant's death has made me more obligated to him than I am to my daughters. I know that sounds strange. It makes the most sense if you think about it like this. Having a child who died is like having a child with a disability. It falls to me to make sure Grant's work is done, his voice heard. Grant loved his little sisters more than anything in the entire world. So it was for him that I didn't take the sleeping pills, that I finally stumbled out of his bedroom, got dressed, and reclaimed Charlie and Aurora, who were being passed from neighbor to neighbor like street orphans. A short 2 months later, we had to face his 15th birthday. Unsure of what to do, we settled on baking a cake with green frosting, his favorite color. The flat, lopsided thing that we stuck candles into that first year hardly resembled a cake, but we choked it down in his honor anyway. Today, we support Grant's high school water polo team with the money we would have used to buy him presents. Next, there was Christmas. The idea of putting up decorations made me want to vomit. But of course, Charlie and Aurora couldn't wait. I could hear Grant in my head lecturing me. So we started a new tradition, one that normal people with living children sometimes find uncomfortable and strange. We take a Christmas tree to Grant's gravesite. strung with solar lights, decorated with ornaments the girls picked out, and topped with a Captain America figurine. It's splendid. Even now, there's a surprising amount to do. With the help of friends and family, a bench was installed in Grant's name on the hillside above our old home. On impulse, I left a plastic box with a journal inside. Written in almost daily, it has to be monitored and replaced on a regular basis. In June of last year, when Grant would have graduated high school, there were gifts to be purchased and cards to be written in his name, stories to be gathered and recorded before friends dispersed to college, and a chair to be held in his honor at the graduation ceremony. Keeping Grant's memory alive can be lonely work. There are no hugs or "thanks, Mom" to go along with it. There's no one to help make up the guest bed when dear friends come to visit. Every year, I get fewer calls or posts on his angel anniversary. Some people flat out disapprove. They think it would be easier if I let go, if I moved on, if I forgot. The truth is, it would be easier. But motherhood isn't about easy. It's about love. And a mother's love never dies.